In today's video, we are going to talk about the top of your backswing, but we're going to talk about two faults that we come across. We're going to talk about what they are, how we can fix it, if we can't fix it, because if we can't feel it, we can't fix it, a move that you can try to do to basically help you hit the ball better, even with that swing fault that you have going on. So if you're brand new to our channel, we appreciate when you subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It grows our channel. If you hit the little bell button, you'll see all the future videos that we post, which is usually Tuesday and Friday. And we'll get going on the video today. If you have any questions, you can put those down below in the comments. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is when you swing across the line. So when the club gets across the line at the top of your backswing. Lots of times that's due to rotator cuff injuries, or you're just very stiff in the shoulders, or you take the club away in a funky, weird way, so it causes it to go across the line. The only good golfer out there that's ever done is Matthew Wolff, but his swing is completely different than what most people would ever consider typical or average. So we're not going to even go into that today, but we're going to talk about why your club goes across the line, what you can do to fix it if you're struggling to fix it, what your move on the downswing can be. So the first thing why people tend to get the club across the line is when they set up to it, they take the club inside, all right? And then they start to elevate their hands to get to the top, and that club goes across the line, all right? That's the most common reason why the club gets across the line, is because lots of people like to push their arms across their chest rather than when they turn, keeping it in front of their body. So that is the first thing that you can do, is don't let that arm try to get the rotation. Let your body do the rotation and keep your arms in front of you. So that's the first way that you can fix that club from being stuck inside. The second reason most people struggle with the club getting across the line is basically their shoulder moves incorrectly. They have stiff shoulders. Basically, they can't let their shoulder do this, all right? Can't rotate this way. They like to rotate it that way. So they're going to get to the top, say they don't even push their arms across their chest. They're really good in position too. But then when they start to elevate their arms, that elbow gets out there. Okay. That is going to cause so many problems when the elbow gets up there, right? Because most of the time we don't come back down this way, we come down that way, all right? So if you're somebody who really has that stiff, bad shoulder in the right shoulder, what I would suggest that you do, besides really focusing on your body taking it away, shorten backswing up, okay? This doesn't require a whole lot of rotation. It's actually really no rotation at all, okay? It's none of that. So you should have that ability to get to the top and at least keep it there. The club's going to be short. You're not going to create as many faults. You're going to hit the ball more center. So you won't sacrifice too much distance. You might even gain it just because you're going to be hitting it more in the center of the face. So that's the second way that we fix that club going across the top. And then finally, the third reason why the club goes across the top is you do some weird stuff with your wrists. So you could have that perfect body takeaway. You got flexibility in your shoulders, but then you basically really get wristy on top. And it goes a little long and the club starts to go weird. You just do some weird, funky stuff with your wrists. Okay, so those are the three common reasons. You kind of have to decide which one fits what you think is going on in your golf swing. All right, so you can test your flexibility, look at your takeaway, see if that's wrong, or see if you're just trying to hit it really hard, so you got a lot of wrist set kind of going on top. Now, what happens when the club gets across the top? This is, if you're a person who slices the ball, this is probably you. All right, you're getting it high, gets across, and then as soon as you try to get back down to the ball, you start to pull down, the club still stands up. Right, so that's going to lead you swinging across it, lose a bunch of distance, hit a lot of toes, probably a lot of chunks, and most likely, if you actually close the face, it's going to go super, super low. All right, so it's going to really cause a lot of issues. So one thing that we'd like to do, let's say you just take it shorter, flexibility is kind of messed up, your takeaway is good. All right, from here, all you have to do is then kind of time it and deliver it, and you can have that shallow angle, or zero plane, or maybe just a little bit steep, and you can still hit the ball very straight. Okay, so the swing, if you can't fix the club going across the top, this would be my one piece of advice: is when you get up here, you got to stall how fast you turn your body. All right, and then you have to really work on feeling like your hands push out that way, because it's got to lay the club down. We have to lay the club down in order to hit it good. So you're going to stall the body, push your hands. All right, and this elbow does need to kind of come in a little bit, but still arm wrestling that way doesn't matter even if you did the nice arm push, because it's still going to wrestle it the wrong way. So if you're a person who struggles with across the top, try to feel like the club drops back behind you and push your hands at the ball. It's not going to be a great game saver. You're still going to struggle, but you will hit the ball better. Of course, try to fix the takeaway. That's going to make a big influence on where the top goes. Check your flexibility. And if you can get the club perfectly on top, or basically hides behind your hands, golf is just going to be so much simpler for you. All right, now we're going to talk about what happens if you're laid off. All right, this could be the exact opposite. If you're somebody who struggles with across the top, this might be the part where you want to feel like you actually lay it off. So we're going to cover that now. So now the people who tend to lay it off on top. If you don't know what that is, it is exactly when the club feels like it's laid off. It's kind of laid over here. Okay. Most likely, if you're laid off, you'll probably hit it better than somebody who's across the top. Okay, but you're still going to struggle in certain areas. So why people tend to be laid off? There's a few reasons. All right. Takeaway could be good. But then you could probably, most people who lay it off kind of lose their posture. So that front shoulder starts to come up and it starts to get over there. All right. And you can see how my posture has changed. Okay. So that's one fault, is you have to feel like you stay in that posture. If you stay in your posture, it's really hard to lay it off. Now, if you're somebody who stays in your posture and you know it, but you still struggle with the club being laid off, it's most likely a forearm move. So in past videos, I've done forearm rotation. You probably took it to a brand new overdone move. And so you stay in your posture. Forearm rotation is basically forearms rotate a little bit, and you way overdid it. Okay, so you get it way over there, and it's laid off. Can you play good with a laid off club face? Jon Rahm just won the Masters. His club is laid off, but he is Jon Rahm. Most of us are not Jon Rahm out there, so I would not suggest that you try to swing like him. He is built the way he is. He swings the way he is for a reason. Okay, for us, we just try to make it simple so we can hit the ball better. So those are basically my big two reasons why we lay it off. Is we lose our posture, we overdo forearm rotation, or you could have like a really, really weak grip, and it might just kind of flop over there. Okay. Now the problem with the club when it's laid off is we get it to the top, it's laid off, and then we know a lot of us pull down at it. And once again, it pulls down, the club shaft stands up. All right, whenever it stands up, it is very, very difficult to hit the ball good. Okay, so if it's laid off, something that you can do to help you hit the ball better is, once again, kind of like when the club is across the line, you're going to feel like you push a little bit more. Okay, you don't have to push as hard because it's there. All right, so it should be shallow if you keep your body closed long enough. All right, your hands might be high. You'll probably be, if you have a miss, it'll probably be a block. Okay, if you are somebody who pulls down on it hard when it's laid off, it's probably low hooks, low slices, poor contact. Okay, so those are the differences between the laid off, across the line on top, and then if you just want to simplify it as much as possible, right? Just keep your body turning, so it just always feels like it stays in front of your chest. All right, and then when you get to the top, just make sure your arm does the right stuff. Once again, my arm did not push across my body. It gets the club deep. I don't need it that deep. All right, forearms and all that stuff are in good spot, and the club should almost hide behind my hands. Right, club head should hide the hands here, and then the hands hide the club head. Those are two key positions in the backswing. All right, so I hope this video helps straighten some stuff out. If you are somebody who struggles with across the line, maybe you should try to feel like it's laid off. If you're somebody who's laid off, you can try to feel like it's across the line. All right, maybe it'll push them right together, and you'll play really good.